Hey, I appreciate any comment or something I get from this social media. Not for YouTube monetization or something, but for the awareness of the people, awareness of my people, awareness of black people, especially black people, awareness of people, period. Uh, but with that being said, I understand the Bible. I don't read the Bible. I try to keep up with that. I listen to the people that's talking about the Bible, the guys out in the streets. I don't listen to the church. I think the church crazy. They end up reading a book with the picture of a white guy in there, and the book saying something totally different. They've been doing it for centuries. They did it for centuries, hundreds of years. To have the picture of a white guy in the church, and the book say something totally different. But I understand. I understand that complete. They don't. I don't think they even understand the book. They preaching it. But as far as the captivity part, if we did something wrong, if that's the case, if we did something wrong, disobeying the Lord, and this was got us in this captivity, we'll be here forever and a day. In that sense, they gonna make sure of. They making sure of it. If you take a look around and see the state of mind of us, of black people, you'll see for yourself, buddy, we ain't supposed to change nothing, never. We go to their schools. They Willie Lynch letter, that Willie Lynch letter is a total killer, G. They need to teach that Willie Lynch letter to everybody every day, not just us black people. Everybody in this country, and that everybody, the Asians over here, anybody, Mexicans, everybody understand why what's going on is going on via that Willie Lynch letter. That and they school indoctrination alone gonna keep us in this captivity state. We'll forever and a day be in this state of captivity via they Willie Lynch letter and they school indoctrination. Do you see any changes? I don't see no changes. No time soon. And this way, if that's the case, we'll forever be in this captivity. They teaching children how to, first off, the school is teaching children how to be slaves. They ain't how to be a slave. Looking up to sports, ball games and stuff, but it ain't teaching, it ain't nothing. The average black guy looking to be a ball player or something when he get out of school, not no formal. Something that's gonna be beneficial to his society. Playing ball and get their money and stuff, but it ain't doing nothing. Then everybody else trying to get money on their jobs, that's not doing nothing. A school indoctrination is just teaching us how to be slaves. We'll forever be in this position. If that's the case, man, boys is still talking about Bloods and Crips and shit, old heads, these motherfuckers 50 years old, still talking about how he cripping and shit. Man, you take a look around and see the state of mind of black people, you'll see for yourself, buddy. We ain't getting out of this no time soon. There's a few guys in the streets, they trying to teach the word, but when the people come by, they disagree, they ain't agree, they fighting against them, telling them they crazy, y'all out here tripping, probably throwing cans and bottles and shit at them, man. Get off our street corner. The state of the mind of the people is gone. And it's through that Willie Lynch letter. That's a bad son bitch, buddy. They need to teach that every day. That Willie Lynch letter, then they go to their schools. They out there trying to teach the older people about God and stuff in church and things, and they talking to the wrong, you preaching to the wrong crowd, buddy. You need to follow their plans and do what they do to us and get to the children. That's the only way, I feel like that's the only way things will change around here is the youth. You have them coming up knowing about the Willie Lynch letter and why they in this position, you'll see some change one day. Because that's how they get to us, indoctrinating us through their schools. You need to pull your children out their schools. If you black, and start teaching them your own ways of life and how to live and how to survive instead of just getting money, because they can just pull that off from under you, like pull that piece of paper off from under your feet like a rug anytime they want to. All they got to do is cut off your paper, G, and it's the end of the story. You back to square one, begging them for assistance. But if that's the case, we in this because of disobeying the Lord, buddy. We gonna forever be disobeying the Lord. And then look at the church. The church, not only they school, the church houses is bad for the black. They got the picture of a white Jesus, buddy. The preacher man gotta be in that some bitch. He ain't reading the Bible. If you go to the pulpit, the Bible probably either closed or that some bitch turned upside down. You need to go up to the church. You probably need to go to the preacher man and tell him, man, you need to turn your book around and open it up and start reading it. Because you got the picture of a white boy in your church, G, and it ain't saying nothing about none of that in that book. You in this building, you supposed to be outside. You ain't reading this book. I don't know what you reading in here. I think you in here looking at Cat in the Hat book or some shit, buddy, but you ain't reading the Bible. You damn sure ain't reading this book. Not with this picture of this white dude on your walls. They probably done try to change that up now. And it's been enough for centuries. This the crazy part. The picture of that white dude, they supposed to be in the church reading the Bible. The picture of the white dude been in those churches for centuries, Chief. A long time. And they supposed to be in there reading the Bible. How that work? How that work, Chief? They in there reading the Bible every Sunday, and you know your parents and grandparents and stuff, you better not say nothing about they white Jesus. Everybody sing Good Times when Michael told Florida Evans, they had the white Jesus on their wall. She go to church every Sunday, and when Michael told her Jesus was black, it say that in the book, she was like, "What you talking about, Michael? It's in the book. Y'all go to church every Sunday. It's in the book." How did they go to church every Sunday and not understand that Jesus wasn't no white person? False indoctrination. The preacher man up there talking about shit, his own life, and not reading that book. It's turned upside down. Probably got a whiskey bottle in it or something, or a joint rolled up or something. Cause he ain't reading that song, bitch, G. That's the state of, and that's the position they got black people in. That type of shit right there. They knew dude wasn't white. And they was like, and they had to be like, but as long as they got that picture up, we know they ain't got it yet. Because that ain't even what the books say. That had to be what they saying, man. And for them, for black people to be going to church for centuries every Sunday and reading that book and not realizing, so-called reading that book and not realizing that the dude that's being described in the book don't look nothing like the picture say. You take that book to a sketch artist and tell him to sketch the picture of the person they describing in that book, it's gonna come up with something totally different than the dude they got on the wall. So how is they reading that book in that church house, man? But anyway, if that's the case, us being in that sense of them have, if that's the case, in that sense, brother, we are forever in the day be in their captivity because they in the church house with the picture of a white Jesus and the book describing something totally different. Yeah, people reading the book nowadays and trying to get an understanding of what it's really saying and stuff, but your kids steady going to their school, they ain't learning nothing but what you telling them. Only thing you telling them, they ain't learning nothing about that book and the reality of that book and life in that school. And they just going on with the older generation telling them about white Jesus on the wall. I mean, if we gonna go off of now, I believe in the book. I think the book, the truth, the Bible, the truth, just as much as that Willie Lynch let them. But they ain't teaching now one of them. They ain't teaching the Bible and they ain't teaching the Willie Lynch letter. They schools is the main thing is keeping us down, indoctrinated with how to be a slave. If that's the case, buddy, if we losing and being in captivity because we going against the Lord, we gonna be captured forever and a day. If I had to say, with the state of mind they got black people in, man, he's chasing a dollar, a piece of paper, playing ball, or man, chasing money too much. We'll never get out of this, chasing a piece of paper. We should have our own indoctrination as a people. We want to get out of this, G. If that's the case,